Gemini. My name is Olivia and this is my channel OJC Astrology, and this is going to be for Gemini Ascendant. So this is if you have Gemini in the first house or a Gemini Rising. Before I get into this video, there's two things I want to mention. Is that if you have your degree early or really late in Gemini, you may want to check out the videos before and after, so Taurus or Cancer Rising. And my personal belief as an astrologer is that the Ascendant is the most important point in the chart, and because of this, it maps your houses. So if you're a Gemini Ascendant, that means your 7th house is Sagittarius, it means your 4th house is Virgo, and your 10th house is Pisces. And this is what is the most important qualities to your chart because it maps the cusp, the house cusp. So getting into Gemini Rising, one of the first things I want to mention is that I feel like you guys are the magicians. I'm going to call you guys the magicians. And I almost chose the Joker or the Trickster, and they're all kind of one of the same. Now the thing about Gemini Rising is it's kind of like you guys have Mercury in the first house, even if you don't, because Mercury rules Gemini. So Gemini Risings, and I know that a lot of you already know this, but you guys always look way younger. You always look way, way younger, and it's because you have this natural curious spirit and childlike spirit that you will die with. It will never go away. You guys are literally like little Peter Pans running everywhere. Like, you guys have this spirit that this youthfulness to you that doesn't go away. And this is why you guys attract a lot of people to you. Gemini Risings usually have a lot of friends, and if they don't have a lot of friends, they have a lot of associates, a lot of people that hit you up, you know, that want to go do something, that, you know, that want to talk, want to kick it. You guys have a lot of people around you. And the thing about Gemini Rising is the 4th house is Virgo. So deep in you guys' soul, you seek perfection. Like, deep down in you guys' soul, you're not necessarily someone who's interested in big gestures. You're not necessarily someone into like Gemini Rising, deep in their soul, just wants things to make sense and wants things to be logical. And you guys want to be cared for. You want your needs met in this physical world. If you guys feel like what you really want deep down is you want to be able to rely on yourself. You want to be able to support yourself. You want to be able to create some type of work environment for yourself. Like, you guys just deep down want your needs met in a way to where you don't ask for much, you just ask for what you need. Now the thing is that you guys don't necessarily take more than you need, but you have so many ideas and you have such a curious nature to you that you guys can be enticed, and you guys can attract experiences in your life where you're being tested of whether or not you're going to be enticed by not, or you're going to stand by what you know and believe to be true. So Gemini Rising has questions for the world, has questions for people. Gemini Rising wants to talk and wants to vocalize themselves. Gemini Rising doesn't want to stand back and be told who they are or be told what's the truth, because here, the Virgo 4th house, the Virgo 4th house is going to feel like, okay, but is that a fact? Okay, but is that really true? Is that really valuable? Is that going to work? So Gemini Rising is curious, but also needs answers. You guys need answers in life. You guys are the type of people that will pick up the phone and call someone if you need to talk. Like, if you need to talk to someone, you need something, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call these people. You're going to get the answers that you want. Now 7th house Sagittarius is, you guys attract people who will challenge your perception and who will challenge your way of being. Now the thing is that Gemini Rising doesn't want someone to hold them back, and Gemini Rising doesn't want someone to condense them down. Like, Gemini Rising ultimately is seeking someone who shows them more about the world than they can know on their own. So a lot of the times, Gemini Rising, with this youthful spirit, you guys will attract people who are either older than you, they come from a different culture than you. You genuinely like to be around people that teach you stuff. You like to learn from others, and you love to go on adventures with people. You love to see how people are out of their element. You know, you guys are the greatest people to just go and do something fun that neither one of you have ever done before. You guys love to try new things like that. Like, you guys are the best fucking people to go on an adventure with. But the thing is that Gemini rising, I believe, is here to seek and explore and experience. Yes, all of that is true. But at the end of the day, like with Pisces being your 10th house, you guys have a dream. Like you guys have some type of dream that you want to fulfill, or you have some type of faith that you are genuinely pulled towards or beckoned towards. And the thing is that Gemini rising, sometimes what you guys can really struggle with is that the 4th house being Virgo, you doubt your emotions. You try to logically understand what you feel. You question your emotions, and you ask yourself, do I make sense? Should I feel this way? Is this right? Like, why do I feel this way? You guys can really, really analyze your emotions, and sometimes this blocks you from success, because success is Pisces to you all, 10th house. Success is you being open, you being transparent, you know, and like sometimes Gemini rising closes themselves. It's almost like you closet yourself into that Virgo 4th house, and you go on these adventures with people. You're open, but what people don't see in you is that deep inside you're very analytical of yourself. You're very protective over your emotions, and you don't want to be wrong. Gemini risings hate to be wrong. Like that's the Virgo 4th house. You hate that. You don't want to feel something and feel stupid. You don't want to believe in something and it's not true. So you guys kind of throughout your life, you have to learn that it's okay to be wrong sometimes, and it's okay to kind of risk it. Like you guys are definitely here to sometimes like chase the dreams that people laugh at. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what people think, because at the end of the day, with the 10th house being Pisces, you have some type of mission that it may not be logical, it may not be practical, but it matters to you, and it's something that you believe in, and it's your fantasy, and it's like, and you're the magician that can do it. The thing is that Gemini risings can sleep on themselves. Like you guys don't even realize that you are this. Gemini rising is a multi-dimensional being. You're here, you're there, you're talking about this, you're learning about this. You guys can multitask, you're multi-dimensional, you're magicians. You can literally mirror and morph yourself to relate to anyone. You guys can go anywhere. You guys can go travel anywhere and just adapt. You're highly adaptable. You're thinking. But when it comes to your own emotions, you're very critical. Like you're very critical of yourself, and you're critical of what you feel. So the thing is that there is a little bit of a naive nature to Gemini rising, because you guys ultimately want to have this lightness. And it's usually because your 4th house Virgo is very intense. Sometimes you guys had parents that like told you have to be this way. You know, this is what's right. This is moral. If you don't do this, you're a bad person. Or if you do this, you're going to fail. You know, it didn't have to be that harsh. Sorry, I'm making it seem like you guys had like, it was only like that. I'm not saying it was only like that. But sometimes you guys had at least one parent who was super critical of you. Super critical of you. When you really wanted to express how you felt, they may have like made you feel like that was wrong. They may have made you feel like, don't do that. That's something wrong with you for being like that. So you guys are kind of protective, and your emotions are held sacred, and you really only want to express things if it makes sense in reality. But the thing is that what you guys learn so much about reality, because your 9th house is Aquarius. So who you guys learn from most is Aquarius, so the 9th house. And what you can learn from Aquarius, from your 9th house, is that your uniqueness is what will set you free, and that it never really matters if you were right or wrong, as long as you were true to you. So like what you guys can take from Aquarius is that if you were true to yourself, you would have never failed. Like sometimes the gold that you're seeking, Gemini, is found through your originality. Because sometimes Gemini rising puts on masks. You know, you put on masks. You entertain different people. You entertain different ideas. Where it's like, it's okay to really be who you are and stand by it and be weird and make other people even feel uncomfortable. Because Gemini rising wants to kind of go with it. And you know, like the magician, what does a magician do, right? A magician practices a whole performance to deceive, but it's not deception because you know what they're doing. So Gemini risings entertain, they perform, they create these like this like imaginative spaces when they interact with people. But the thing is that that's in your nature to do that because you're Gemini risings. But sometimes for like the ninth house has everything to do with your involvement, and like when you awaken, it's like the house of when we have awakenings, right? When we learn something and we grow as a person, we have a phoenix moment because it rules Sagittarius. So it's the Jupiter house. It's where we gain wisdom. So with yours being Aquarius, sometimes like you just are who you are, Gemini. Sometimes you guys just need to stay true to your unique, strange viewpoint. And sometimes you guys will feel like when you really are like that, you're aggressive or you're opposing people. Like sometimes you guys feel like when you're really learning something about yourself or you're growing as a person, you're isolated. Nobody gets you. Like nobody gets what you're going through right now. Nobody gets what you're working on right now. Like it's like when you guys are really truly in a state of like you're evolving and being true to you, you're weird or you're casted out. But the thing is that that's part of it. It's that you don't have to be liked by everybody. You don't have to be everybody's friend. You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, Gemini. And you know you're not everybody's cup of tea, but deep down, when you're not, you'll feel like it's something wrong with me because Virgo is the fourth house, and you'll question, am I wrong? You know, should I not be this way? Should I, you know, you guys do that. Now, one of the most important things is that your 12th house is Taurus. Now, with your 12th house being Taurus, this means that you have the spirit of Taurus. You have your unconscious self, the spirit of who you are is Taurus. What this says is that deep down, Gemini, you know exactly what the world is about. You know exactly what the world expects of you. You have a deep you're grounded into this earth. Like you guys are children of earth. And it's like, that's why you have this like enticement to you. You have this ability to dream and wander, and you guys have this like spunky childlike nature. And this is why people need to protect Gemini risings at all costs, because you guys are definitely here to keep your youthful nature. But with Taurus being your 12th house, this is like the most important lesson for Gemini rising is to stay grounded. You have to stay grounded, and you have to remember that you are a child of this earth. And you have to keep your feet on the ground, because sometimes Gemini risings get so in their head and so up into the ethers, right? And they get so caught up with certain things that you lose your feet off the ground. And then you're floating up in space. And this is when you're in the 9th house Aquarius. You're like all over, you're all in the ethers. And when you forget that you're here on this earth and you forget where you come from, where your feet need to stay planted, this is when things can get kind of shaky. And then what does that mean? Your 6th house is Scorpio. So you go through dark transformations. You may get fired. You know what I mean? Someone may reveal a secret about you or something like that. Like you guys will go through deep experiences in your reality, because if you let yourself lose your grounding, you have to keep your feet on the ground, and your head can be in the clouds, Gemini, but your feet have to stay on the ground. And this is your Taurus 12th house. And another thing is that you guys have this strong spirit of you know what you value. You have strong values, and you know that you're capable of a lot. Like you guys can really, really push yourself, and you guys can build unconsciously. Like unconsciously, you can build power. So the thing is that sometimes, you know, you'll meet a Gemini rising and you'll think, oh, this person is just like here and there. This person is just talking. This person is a social butterfly. Like you'll think that, but what you don't know is that fucking Gemini rising does rituals. That Gemini rising has specific things that they do each day that makes them who they are. You know what I mean? Like Gemini risings have a lot of like little rituals that they do, or they have specific values. They have specific things about them that doesn't waver and it doesn't change. And the thing is that it doesn't matter how you really see the Gemini rising, because they know deep inside that they can make something happen when they want to. Like they have strong will. They have a strong sense of security embedded in them. And this is why you guys are free to explore, because deep down you are grounded. You just sometimes lose yourself in life chasing what you want to believe in, and then you come back to the roots. And the roots is that you're a child of earth. And this is why you've been granted the permission to be the Gemini rising, to go wander the earth, to go wander the world, to go see everything you want to see. But it's as long as you know deep down that 12th house Taurus doesn't change. You have a foundation. It's unconscious, it's buried within you. So there's a depth to Gemini rising that a lot of people don't see. A lot of people don't see this out of you. And the thing is that you inspire people to believe in themselves. You inspire people to challenge themselves and go on adventures. And people like will think that you're just this here and there spirit. But what they don't see is that there is a perfectionism to you, and there is a very grounded part of you where you guys have gratitude. Like, you guys have a genuine gratitude. And I think also with the Pisces in the 10th house, you want to believe in a better world. And this is why you will, like, when you guys don't necessarily, you guys won't even really be mad to see other people win. Like, when you see other people win, you'll be like, wow, that inspires me. Like, this person made their dreams come true, I'm next. You know what I mean? Like, I want that for myself. So you guys have this beautiful visionary way of being and seeing in the world. But the most important thing is that you don't lose your feet. You can't. Like, it's very, very important for Gemini risings to meditate. It's very important for you guys to connect. And one thing that I'm not really a person who believes in religion. Like, I'm not a person that is religious. Like, I'm not into that. But I genuinely believe that, like, religion serves certain types of people. And Gemini rising is one of them. Because with the 7th house Sagittarius, sometimes you will get, you'll meet people of different origins and backgrounds and cultures and personalities than you. So you'll sometimes feel like you want to learn about other people. And sometimes you guys, in the process of finding yourself, you lose yourself. So this is why when you are true to that Taurus 12th house, when you create your own rituals, when you find your belief, when you stay true to that, when you, religion could serve you all, is basically what I'm trying to say. And if not religion, like, you're literally following some, you don't necessarily have to follow and devote yourself to a religion, but keeping yourself in a form of, like, I guess, ritualism that you don't break out of. Like, you guys are the type of people that you need to hold yourself accountable to certain things. And it has to kind of be unconscious, so it doesn't need to be told. Like, you guys are the type of people that maybe each morning you need to do a specific thing before you leave your house. Or before you go out, you guys need to take a crystal and you need to say an intention and you need to say that you will be grounded. Like, you guys have to develop a strong sense of spirituality, because that's very, very important for you. You guys will get lost in the sauce, or you guys will lose yourself into things that aren't making sense, when what you're really truly looking for is stable spirituality. You guys are looking for a God that will never leave you. You guys are looking for stable spirituality that doesn't waver. You guys deep down are seeking commitment to spirituality. Like, you value that. You value the stability of spirit. And this is why you have a free spirit, because you usually within your life, you guys develop some type of ritualism or spirituality that keeps you grounded. And through your being grounded, this is why you can explore and be fun and be this person. But yeah, that's what I have for Gemini rising. I really just say magician because you guys are so highly adaptable. And you're so easy to talk to. You're so easy to be around. You guys really have a lot of tricks up your sleeve. But the thing is that don't show everybody. Sometimes Gemini rising has 50 tricks up their sleeve, but they only show you one. And that is part of it. Like, that's part of it. You are not necessarily here to show everyone your magic. But what you are here to do is to harness it and ground it and use it for yourself. You guys are here to make magic happen in your lives, and you are kind of like this magical force in other people's life, but only because that magic is deeply, deeply embedded in you, and it's a part of your value and unconscious systems, and you don't waver on that. You're grounded in your magic, and this is why you have the soul that wants to wander. So that is what I have for Gemini rising. Another thing I'll say is that you guys are very chatty. You guys can sometimes talk to the wrong people, or you associate yourself with people that you shouldn't because they're not true. Like, sometimes you guys attract people that are pretentious or that think of you as not up to them. So be careful of that. Be careful of who you share yourself with or who you talk to, because sometimes it's better for you guys to channel all of your thoughts and energy into something creative, you know, or to something that means something to you, you know, like that is very important for you guys. You guys have the 3rd house Leo, so you're here to speak art, you know, to create things and to kind of like be this artist and this, even a little bit of this flamboyant spirit. And like you guys are definitely here to create things and not always share yourself with people and explain yourself to people, but more so know who you are, what you think, and then work your magic. And all people really need to know is that. They don't need to know everything, but just keep working your magic. So that is what I have for Gemini Rising. Thank you guys so much for watching this and being here. Again, my name is Olivia. This is my channel, OJC Astrology. And I hope that you like this video. If so, like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's get into Cancer Rising. Bye, y'all.